Hi, my name is Alexandra Laplante, and today I'm going to be debating against Emily Daou on a controversial question. Should school attendance be mandatory until 18 years old? We all live in a society which has its own set of spoken and unspoken rules. One of them is education. The society expects you to go to school, followed by college, get a job, settle down, etc. In other words, you have to follow the path that everybody follows. But what if you don't want or you can't stay in school until that age? Moreover, as the culture and mindset changes, the role of education evolves. The society of before and now are very different. Nowadays, education is still very important, even more than ever, but the new generations seems to be according less attention to it. Some people think that school should be mandatory until 18 years old, but really it should be a choice and not an obligation. This is why I think that school should in fact not be mandatory until 18 years old. If so, it is really disappointing to see what our world has become. Why force someone to do something they don't want to do? First of all, school should not be mandatory until 18 years old because it goes against the Charter of Human Rights and Freedom, and also against the Convention on the Right of the Child. Children and adolescents under the age of 18 are protected by it. The Charters protects the rights and freedom of every person, regardless of their age. This being said, forcing teenagers to stay in school against their approval is wrong and illegal. If a person doesn't want to pursue their studies, it should not be held against them until they are 18. Everybody has to follow the human rights, and to obligate someone to stay in school until this age against their will is a violation. As an example, in the Convention on the Rights of the Child, it says that the child's best interests are a primary concern in all decisions concerning the child. Children's specific needs must be met and their right respected. Also, the opinion of the child must be taken into consideration with respect to decisions affecting him or her. Therefore, if a parent or a legal guardian does not act in the interests of their children, the Youth Protection Act was adopted in order to correct these situations. If the right of someone under 18 is not respected, it can lead to the Youth Criminal Justice Act. With this in mind, if someone for any reason doesn't stay in school until they are at a legal age, nobody can legally force them. Second of all, school should not be mandatory until the age of 18 because it is a personal choice of interest. In addition, at the age of 16, a person is practically a young adult. And as a young adult, they have the wisdom to make choices wisely, especially when they clearly know that this will have a huge impact on their life. Also, on another subject, let's not forget that a teenager of 14 to 17 years old can make their own medical decisions. That being said, a person could not choose for their education or their future, but could make decisions on their health. It is pretty confusing to me. I mean, while a teenager is conscious, he or she can make an informed decision. Now, back to our question. We can say that some children want to do something else, which is outside of school, such as join a business. Not everybody has in mind to go to cégep and then university right away after high school. We all have different perspectives and preferences. We don't have to do or to be the same. If someone wants to drop out of high school and then goes on the job market, it is totally normal. At the time, not everybody finished high school, and today the generations have jobs and money to survive. As well as that, degrees are no longer a guarantee, of getting a job. There is a fast growing numbers of paid jobs and activities that do not require a university degree. and there is a growing numbers of alternative, free or low-cost learning paths that can be taken to learn new skills and earn oneself a living, according to an article on the decreasing values of university until 18. So after hearing all of this, why should it be mandatory for a person to stay in school until the age of 18? Therefore, students have the freedom of choice, and it should be an option for children to stay in school until they are major. On the other hand, we can look at the question differently and have another point of view. Like Emily said, the presence in class is directly linked to academic success. That way, making attendance at school mandatory would force the students to assist at their courses. By doing that, everybody would have better grades and be more motivated to go to school. It is like a cycle of success that would push students to go to class and liking it more because of their good grades. I totally agree with her. Even if some people don't want to stay in school until they are 18, it would force them to learn new things and improve their mindset about education. In the end, it will only do them well, and they will understand that what matter are the results and their improvements. In this regard, I have to say that school attendance should be mandatory until 18 years old. I could not disagree more with the things that were said before. If a student is forced to stay in school but he doesn't want to, he or she will not have better grades. On the contrary, they will not do their homework or study for their exams because they don't care. They don't want to be there, so why would they put work into it? They will not have more motivation to success in school, but motivation to get out of school. This whole situation could, in the long term, create real problems like depression, anxiety, or constant sadness. Being in a place that you fear or that repulses you every day is not good for your mental health. It is more satisfying seeing someone really happy doing what they love than seeing someone really depressed doing something that they hate. I have to support my first point of view and say that attendance at school should not be mandatory until you are 18 years old. Finally, I think that school attendance should not be mandatory because of all the facts that I stated before. According to the human rights, and more importantly, to the human rights. According to the freedom of choice and the fact that a person is already considered responsible at 16 years old. These are the example that the presence of a person in school until he or she is 18 is not important, and it doesn't define someone. Moreover, this question will still be a problem for many people, but I hope that my point of view helped you to have a clearer vision of the choice that teenagers are making every day. In life, everything is a choice. School should be one. Thank you.